Hello everyone, I'm Kathy from Kathy Creates, where I try to inspire you to create. Come on into my craft room. I'm going to get us pulled up over here so I can see comments. And we will get going here. Make sure my volume is
I'm
off.
Kathy from Kathy.
All right, so we should be able to see comments. So when you get here, say hello, let me know you're here, and we will get started. Okay, so what I am doing tonight, I received this beautiful napkin in Happy Mail. Look how gorgeous this is. I received this from one of my faithful followers and friend, Miss Tracy Dorio. She sent me some Happy Mail, and this was in there, and I dearly love it. And if y'all love it as much as I love it, guess what? She sent me a bunch of extras, so Happy Mail will be getting some of these, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first thing I'm going to do, this surface fits in this frame. Okay, this is one of our frames that we made in our subscription group, but it also fits in my other frame. I have another frame that they both fit in. So we're going to go ahead. This was what we made in the subscription group. So we're going to go ahead and do this one for the, there's Mama. Mom's here. She will be pulling names for us. And we're going to go ahead and paint this surface. First thing I'm going to do though is I am going to distress this one. So we're going to use the wax technique. So I am going to just run some wax over here on my edges and throughout, because I want to distress this a little bit. Okay, so I got it good and waxed up. Brush off that excess wax, and then we're going to get started. So if you've wondered where I've been sick, and I'm finally better. I've been better. I shouldn't say it that way. I have been better, but I still was coughing something terrible, and nobody wants me to be live while I'm coughing, because then that's all you're going to hear is my coughing. So I canceled my lives because I didn't want to be coughing through my whole live. So I have been MIA for a couple of weeks, sadly, but I'm much better. I am sucking on a cough drop right now, so pardon me if you hear crunching or anything. It's the cough drop in my mouth, but just did a preemptive cough drop just to try to keep it at bay, because it seems like the more I talk, the more I cough. So I'm hoping that I can get through this without doing too much coughing. I really only felt bad for 2 or 3 days, but then, like I said, this silly nagging cough just would not go away. Okay, we're going to dry this. Hello, Miss Kim. Miss Kimberly Eaton. Hello. Kimberly Walter Eaton, I should say. Miss Kim is in the house. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all. I am going to do this with a couple of coats of paint. I do feel much better. I really do. I actually feel fine. It's just the silly cough that I can't seem to kick, but it's way better than it was. So that's why I thought, well, I think I can go live. And like I said, I took a preemptive cough drop just to hopefully prevent anything. All right, we're going to do one more coat. And these are shiplapped on one side, but if you don't want them shiplapped, because I do believe these are on the website, you can buy them individually, these little squares for surfaces. If you have one of the frames that it fits in, or just to use as a surface, they're on the website. But you could do this with any surface. You know, we're Mod Podging on a napkin, so y'all know the drill. You can do that with anything. Okay, we have this just about painted. This side needs a little help. There we go. Just trying to get rid of some brush strokes. Not that it's going to matter because we're going to distress it. Of course we are, right? Hello, Miss Sonia. Hello, hello. Did I tell you? You have another surgery coming? No, you did not tell me that, Miss Kimberly. What is this surgery for? Oh, I am too. And even just the coughing, it gets really old, you know? It's my ribs have hurt just from coughing so much. You know, it's just a sinus infection. It's just the drainage. You know, it's nothing super serious. It was just a sinus infection, but my goodness, it kicked my rear. That is for sure. There's Miss Tracy. Hello, hello, Miss Tracy. Okay, so I think we have this pretty dry. So now we're going to take our scraper. You guys know the drill here. And we're going to scrape. And it's going to come off wherever we put the wax. We're going to get big old scrapes. Okay. That is looking pretty much perfect. And I've still got wet paint on the edges there. Let's wipe that off. You're having throat surgery? What did I miss here? Kim. They're stretching your throat out. My goodness, girl. I don't want to imagine what that's going to be. Okay. So we have our surface, and it is delightful. All right. So now we're going to move on to our napkin. And we are going to separate our layers. Oh, and look at that. It's a 3-layer, but it just peeled right off for me. That was nice of it. Miss Tracy, are you in the house? Miss Tracy sent us this gorgeous napkin. All right, let's see if I can find my water pen. I did not grab it out before I came on. And my little tool thing here is chock full. I do not see it. Where is it? Gotta be in here. Well, I did not see it. Where in the world did it go? I don't see it. Okay, well, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way then. We are going to use a paintbrush and some water. All right, so we have this, but now I have these two edges torn, so now I'm going to use the water and tear here as well. Isn't that a gorgeous napkin? I know, I love this napkin. I just got to get the bottom. What this does, I love tearing these because what I really think it does is it just kind of makes your napkin, it kind of makes it melt into your surface. After you Mod Podge it on, you really can't, yeah, that's going to be good. You really can't notice the edges so much, you know, where it starts and stops. Hey, Miss Rhonda. Miss Rhonda's in the house. Welcome, welcome, Rhonda. Oops, if I can get this to, my Mod Podge is kind of sealed shut. Yes, Miss Tracy, this napkin was gifted to me along with a bunch of others from Miss Tracy Dorio, one of my very favorite followers, friends. Okay. She sent me some of these beautiful napkins that we are using tonight. All right, so we're going to spread this out, and I've got way too much, so we're going to scoop some of it off and put it on our plate. We're going to need it for on the top in a moment. Okay, so we are going to lay our napkin down. Now, I like the wrinkles. I think it adds to my distressing. If you do not like the wrinkles, all you have to do is put your Mod Podge down, dry your Mod Podge, then place your napkin over the top of the dried Mod Podge, and then take a piece of parchment paper and lay that over the top and iron it with an iron. No steam, just the iron. And it'll be smooth as a baby's butt. I personally like that wrinkled look. I think it makes it look more vintage, more farmhouse, which is more my aesthetics. So I deliberately do it this way so that I get a few wrinkles. Now I am going over the whole thing with some Mod Podge very gently because you can tear your napkin. Going over it very gently just to seal it. I'm going to make sure it's adhered well. And I use the matte finished Mod Podge. It does, I would say, it says that it's matte, but I beg to differ. I would say it's more of a satin finish. Jelly sheets to get wrinkles out. I don't want to get wrinkles out. I like the wrinkles. Hello, Doodle Denise Designs. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we're going to get this dry, and then we're going to do a little bit of embellishments to this. Whoops, I clicked on something. Good evening, Lori from Lavender and Lace with Lori. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now, look how nice this is going to look in our little frame here. So pop this guy out, set him aside, and then look how awesome that's going to look. Isn't that pretty? But we're not done. We're going to do some embellishments to them. So we're going to set our frame back there for now. All right. So I have a few things pulled, and I'm not positive of these. These are little sticks that I got from the Dollar Tree. They had them in a little pack, okay? And I was thinking about kind of putting a couple of these on here. I'm not sure. And then I also have these little berries with the little mini pine cones. And I thought we might add some of them as well, but I need to tear them apart to be able to do that. So we're going to get these apart. You're sounding good. Yeah, my voice is back. So when I originally had this, so back up. For some of you that may not know. The reason it gets kind of serious with me when I get sick or get a sinus infection or any kind of basically upper respiratory at all, is I have a paralyzed vocal cord. And I had surgery last year for that. And it's been great ever since my surgery. The surgery that they did is actually kind of, it's not even really a surgery. It's more of a procedure. They injected like a Botox type substance into the paralyzed one so that it would kind of plump it up a little, so that, because it's atrophying, because it's not being used since it's paralyzed. So because it's atrophying, it was allowing me to aspirate, because apparently I don't know my anatomy, and I did not know that your vocal cords close off your esophagus and, you know, allow you to swallow and to breathe. Well, if neither of my vocal cords work, I would have to have a tracheotomy. So it's kind of serious. And it would be an emergency tracheotomy, so, you know, kind of like super important. Like, could die without it type thing. So, anyway, so when I got sick, at first it started out as just a cold. It was just nasally, runny nose. That was it. And then I woke up and I noticed that my voice was starting to sound different. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. You have that frame, Miss Tracy. That was one of our subscription groups. You have it, silly girl. Anyways, so I called the doctor. He said yes. And I waited until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon because I was like, I don't know. It's just a cold. Do I really need to go to the doctor? I don't know if I like these sticks. So we might just try it with some berries. I might add a little greenery as well. Let me see here. I'm trying to decide which ones I want to use. Let's try these because these are really flexible and they're very small. I can cut them. Let's try these. These came from Hobby Lobby. They were $3.99 and they're like that cypress and I love them. But I think if we cut these down a little. They plumped one and I have to drink through a straw. Oh my goodness. So both of yours are paralyzed and you didn't have to have a tracheotomy? Because they told me I would have to have a trach if the other one went. And that terrified me. I'm not going to lie. That's why I went ahead and had the procedure done. I'm just kind of trimming this up to make it a little more. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that better. Yeah, I don't like these sticks on there. We're not doing the sticks. Oh, you did it first. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea it was that serious, to be honest. And I guess that's just my failing of anatomy. Because when I went to the doctor like a year prior to that, feeding tube after. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. So anyway, so when I went to the doctor, he put me on an antibiotic and then he also put me on voice rest. just for 48 hours. He said my vocal cords were irritated from all the drainage from, just trying to move my water out of the way. My vocal cords were irritated from, you know, all the drainage. And so he wanted me to give him a break, basically. And so he put me on voice rest for 48 hours. And I think that was actually, that was really hard. I mean, one, yes, I talk a lot, so shocking, right? But just communicating. I mean, it's really difficult. I have a new understanding for people that have that issue. Because that was not fun. Yeah, I like that. I think that's going to be good. But I'm all better now. So I'm allowed to talk and things are good. And Miss Bonnie, can I share your news? I don't want to share if you don't want me to. Miss Bonnie sent me some good news today. I am going to put some of these little pine cones in here. Wait, what was that? My daughter just texted me for a prayer request. Her coworker's daughter, 3-month-old, is being rushed to Boston Children's. Oh no, they think she has RSV and pneumonia. Oh my goodness, prayers. Prayers to your daughter's coworker and her precious little baby. Okay, Bonnie said yes, I can share. Okay, so I know that we have prayed on here for Miss Bonnie's daughter, Joanne. And she just had a scan done. She's the one that's been dealing with, I think it was pancreatic cancer. Is that correct? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. She's been dealing with pancreatic cancer. She had surgery, oh gosh, what, probably a month ago now. And she just got scan results, all clear. So that is definitely praiseworthy right there. I'm so happy for you guys. Bonnie, is she still doing chemo or radiation? And which one did she have? I'm just adding these little berries in. Next chemo treatment is on Monday. Okay, we're going to keep praying for her and keep praying for great results. And Bob goes for his annual scan because y'all probably remember Bob had kidney cancer 5 years ago. It was May of 2020 that he was diagnosed and had surgery and had a kidney removed. And he is going for his annual scan on Friday. So we would appreciate prayers for that as well. I'm telling you, that scan anxiety is so real. Okay, so look at what we've done so far. I like that a lot. That's looking really cute. Now I'm debating. We might add a little buffalo plaid bow. Absolutely, we're going to add a buffalo plaid bow. Okay. Let me take the heat tool to this. Okay. So that's what we have so far. Look how cute he is. Now, I did pull my stickles out because I do want to add a little bit of bling to them, but not over the top. Okay. So I think I'm just going to add it to like some of these little berries and flowers that are around. I don't think I'm going to add it necessarily to him. I just want to give it a little pizzazz. This one's just about gone. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate the prayer. This weekend will be a little nerve-wracking for us because we won't get the results. I think his appointment is on Tuesday or Wednesday with his doctor. And we will get the results then. I believe, I know we always stress about this, and I believe that this is the doctor that doesn't release the results. Good, bad, or ugly until you go to the doctor. So, we will be stressing. Stressing and praying all weekend. I think I just plugged up. It's just plugged up. Oops, there we go. Now it's coming out. Just kind of putting little dots of it on the floral. Oh yes, I love that. We need a little more over on this side. Oh, I think that's perfect. We might put a little bit in his eye, just to make his eye pop. And I think that's good. I love the buffalo check bow too. Okay, I'm not sure you guys will be able to see the sparkle from the stickles. Okay, all right, so let me pop this into my little frame here. And I love that. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that just precious in that frame? That's what that was made for. Oh my gosh. That is so nice that Joanne's oncologist did that because this doesn't. To be fair, it's not the oncologist. This is the nephrologist that he has to go see. He's the one that runs all the tests. Or she, actually. I think it's a female. It just recently changed, but I'm pretty sure it's a female because the one that he had when he first was diagnosed, he moved out of town. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you. Thank you, Anita. Kim, you don't have to buy it from her. I've got them. She sent me a whole bunch. So I will be sending them in Happy Mail. And since you are one of my subscribers to my subscription group, I will throw one in your next box. Okay? How about that? Okay. So we're done with that. We have 15 minutes left. So I'm also going to do an ornament with that napkin. Okay? Because I dearly love it. So I pulled the top off of it. I took it out of my garage. This is just one of those little plastic kind of flat ornaments from Hobby Lobby. I took it out of my garage. I sprayed it with this stuff. You guys know I love this stuff. This is the frosted glass, Rust-Oleum frosted glass. And it works like a charm. The frame is actually from our subscription group. We did that frame in our subscription group. What is she buying? What is who buying? I think she wants to buy the napkin. Okay. All right. So anyways, so we use that. So we're going to do the Mod Podge on here. But on this, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to use our brush here, because this is going to, part of it is going to end up being cut off, but I'm going to try to just kind of go around the objects here, the leaves and the flowers, because it's just a smidge too big. So we're going to take some of this off. And then we're going to add this on. And I believe part of his tail is going to get cut off, but it can't be helped. Okay, let's see what we got here. So we're going to kind of wrap him a little bit. Yeah, quite a bit of this has got to come off yet. Let's get rid of this. I don't need this. And it's in the way. Hello, Mary. You're never late. I'm glad you're here. Move this guy out of the way. And we need to chop off a bunch of this side. And we need to come off the top here. Let's see what we got. I'm trying to kind of stagger it. So his head's going to be up here and the tail will come down. And as you can see, it's going to be a little tight, but I think it's going to work. What else do we need to take off here? We need to take off over here. Some of this needs to come off. Trying to save as much of his tail as I can. Okay, we're getting close. It's almost going to be a silhouette of our little cardinal. I got all these little pieces stuck to me. I think that might do it, actually. Yeah, I think, let's take off some of this. So because I was sick, I was thinking about this today. I'm not going to pull a Happy Mail for the November Happy Mail since I've been sick the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to wait and I will pull it in December since there's only a couple of times that we're on. There we go. I think that is about perfect. Okay. All that cleaned up. Yes, she sent me a really good size stack. So yeah, I will send you guys some. Matter of fact, everybody but Tracy in the subscription group, I will send you some. Okay. All right, so we're just Mod Podging again. And I just kind of guesstimated where that's going to be with my Mod Podge. And I did fairly decent. I was able to save his whole tail too, so I'm happy about that. His tail feathers aren't chopped off. So I always go around my edges really well to make sure that's down. And then just like the other one, we're going to go ahead and cover the whole thing in Mod Podge. All right, I think we have that pretty well down. Just looking at these edges, making sure my edges are good. I think we are. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and dry it. It's one of the perks of being in the subscription group. You get little freebies here and there. Isn't that going to be pretty? I love that. A little tacky. I think we're going to kind of embellish this the same way. I don't see a reason why we couldn't do that. It's really hot. I'm hoping it's not melting it. Okay, so let's take one of these guys. I think we're going to... Did I turn this off? No, I did not. Okay, good. Stuff you can just pull apart. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Okay, yeah, we're going to put those down. This thing's kind of sliding around on me. I'm going to put it on a napkin and maybe it'll, or a paper towel. Hey, Miss Cheryl. How are you doing, girlie? I love this greenery. I thought it was really pretty. Okay, so we have our greenery on there. You still see his little tail feathers, so that's cool. I'm going to take another one of these and we're going to cut it apart. Woo, and they go flying. Hey, Cindy Clark. Welcome, welcome. Yes, the greenery came from Hobby Lobby. I'll hold it up here in a second. Get this guy on there. This is what it looks like. I pulled this one off, but it was $3.99. It's in the Christmas section, and it's, I think that's called, is it Cypress? Something like that. How you doing, Miss Cheryl? Haven't seen or heard from you in a while. I miss you, lady. These little boogers are kind of hard to work with. They're so tiny. We're getting it. I think we're going to put one facing down on this side. Oh, I don't really like that. Let's stick it somewhere else. That's better. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Let me grab one of my little itty bitty buffalo plaid bows. Oh no, do I not have any more little ones? How big are these? Oh, here's a hole. Never fear. I have a ton of them. Because who can tie little teeny bows like that? That's hard to do. So, here, these are perfect. You're going to the city to shop alone and see my girlfriend in rehab. Well, good for you. Okay. Oops, we got glue strings hanging. All right, so there's our little guy. So we have 4 minutes left, and all we're going to do is do our stickles on him like we did on the frame. There's not as much to stickle. We're going to do his eyeball, and I'm going to just put a few little dots here and there. We got rid of a lot of the flowers, so not as much to do, but we're going to add a few just so we have that pop of sparkle. Okay. Now let me find the top. What did I do with the top of my ornament? Here it is. Now we're going to pop that back on without sticking my fingers in the stickle. And there we have it. We have both of these little guys done. Let me bring my frame over. So, same napkin, 2 different applications. Virtually identical projects, but with very different outcomes. This is someone pretty. What's the laser cut? What? I tried to make little bows. Nope, didn't work. So I lasered cute bows to put on my ornaments. That's a good idea. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And as we're nearing this Thanksgiving in a couple of days, I'd like everyone to take a moment and just think about gratitude and things that you're grateful for. I mean, I know I've got a lot to be grateful for. We've got our health, we've got our family, our grandkids, we have a warm home. There's just so many things to be grateful for. And yeah, things get to be rough from time to time, but we get through them, and there's always something to be thankful for, right? Look for the silver lining, I guess, is what I want to say. So I appreciate you all being here with me tonight. I'm just going to hang this on a little black and white string to go with my buffalo plaid tree, I should say. And we're going to call this done. And there we have it. We have our cute little ornament, and we have our little frame. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much. And everyone have a fabulous Thanksgiving. I will be live again next Thursday. Okay? Not Wednesday. It'll be Thursday next week at 7. Okay? All right. Thank you all so much. And God bless and have a fabulous Thanksgiving.